It read, "You live in a Superfund site. It is hazardous to your health. Please join our lawsuit, class action lawsuit against Motorola, Velma Dunn." Whoa. Mr. Chair, Toastmasters and guests. This is a story about the relevance of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. The first thing I thought to do was call my cousin. He was a lawyer on the very first Superfund site. That was Love Canal. He worked with Lois Gibbs. He got me in touch with a guy named Steve Brittle. Steve Brittle is an environmental activist in the area. We decided to do our research. Turns out Velma Dunn was a realtor. She was trying to buy up all the property in this area for investors who wanted to develop there. It was right near the airport. Unfortunately, the EPA stepped in and said, "There's toxics in the groundwater. You cannot build there." So she started this lawsuit. We kept doing our research. Come to find out, a few years before that, there was a water treatment plant built at 64th Street in McDowell. When the EPA went in there to check the water, they found that there was 64,000 parts per billion of TCE in the water. They immediately stepped forward to clean it out and find the sources. TCE, by the way, the legal amount in Arizona is 5 parts per billion, and it's totally illegal in California to use TCE. It's trichloroethylene. It's an industrial degreaser that's used mainly in the computer industry. Well, they were able to find a couple small manufacturing companies, but it was nowhere near their disposal that was causing this impact. When they made it public, an employee came forward from Motorola. He said that they were dumping it in the back field behind the 52nd Street plant. When the EPA went back there, they found a pool, almost like a small lake of TCE. Immediately, the EPA shut down all the wells in that area, the groundwater wells that would take it to the plant. They also fined Motorola, and they made them clean it up. They had to clean it up by aerating the TCE in the water. It would shoot up in the air, and TCE, as soon as it hits the atmosphere, evaporates. They also use bioremediation, and that's when you take a certain bacteria, put it in the ground, and it eats the toxins. This is slower, but it's more effective. And they also made Motorola find a better way to dispose of their toxins. Well, getting into the lawsuit, the health hazards are leukemia, or it's a carcinogen, especially in the kidney and liver. It can cause miscarriages. It can cause, in a pregnancy that goes to full term, your child can have the heart problems. As we went door to door talking to these people, and this area was even much bigger than Love Canal, it was very disheartening to see the sickness. Some families, every member in the family had cancer. The lawsuit, I moved out as soon as I could. The lawsuit took 11 years. Just imagine if there was no EPA. How would we get Motorola to stop doing this, to clean it up? Would it take the 11 years? The EPA was started in 1970 by President Richard Nixon. Thank you, President Richard Nixon. That was an honorable thing to do. He did it to protect the environment and people's health. Right now, there are 1,100 sites in the United States maintained by the EPA. On December 31st, 2018, because of the cost to the federal government, and because its regulations impeded onto the manufacturing companies, this administration has scheduled with an executive order to close the doors forever. Mr. Chair.